Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Nalinga Sise of Herb and Harvest Organic Farm. For all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, thank you so much. Thank you so much for always coming back and watching my videos. Thank you so much for always sharing your advice with me, for always commenting and liking the videos. For those who are still new, please, what are we waiting for? Let's consider subscribing. Let's hit the notification bell. In that way, you never miss out any upload. Share this video, comment in the comment section down below. Tell Sissy which country you're watching us from, and I'll be so happy. You can see we are now in our farm where we have shifted our birds, and our birds are doing super well. They're growing so fast, and I'm really so happy about that. You know, a farmer's dream is for the whatever he or she is doing to come up well, and I'm really so happy that our birds have come out well and they're really growing well and they're doing so well. And last time I told you that we shall continue with our learning. We have so many things to learn, and with farming or poultry farming, learning never ends, because every day we have new things going on in the farm. Every day we experience new things. Actually, all farmers experience different things every day in their activities. So today I want us to look at something super exciting, and that is you know, when we did our brooding, we really came out of that brooding successfully, and I just felt like coming out here and telling you people some of the tips that you should consider while doing this brooding, that will help you to avoid this mortality. There are quite a number that I've experienced during the brooding of these birds, and that's why today I said, let me come out and share it with everyone out there about some of the things to consider while brooding to avoid mortality. So that's why I just said today I need to come out and share with you some of the things you have to do, some of the do's and the don'ts of brooding that will help you not to kill your baby chicks. And but before we do that, I want to really apologize that it has been now 5 days since I uploaded the video. You know, this festive season there are so many activities going on. We have so many parties, so many weddings, going to the village. So you really forgive me for taking quite some time not uploading, but all in all, Sister is here. And I remember when we left the brooder, I did not give you people the total amount we have spent in the brooding, because I've got so many people asking me, what was the expenses of brooding. So I want us also to look at how much we spent in total during brooding these birds, and when we did not weigh the birds, but I think we shall weigh the birds. I think when they are now soon starting to lay eggs, we have to do the weighing, and the next expense we shall give it now when the birds start laying. So today I also want us to look at how much we have spent in the brooder, and the weight we shall not look at it today. And also I want us to look at our farm, how the birds are doing, and some of these tips for successful brooding, because I really count ourselves as successful brooders, because you know, in the brooder we didn't experience mortality, like we didn't experience any kind of infection. So I want us to look at that today, so please stay tuned till the end and I'll be so happy. So guys, these are our birds. They are really doing super well. You can see they have really grown. See how they're running. They have now made 5 weeks, and now we are now heading to our week 6. And the birds are really doing super well. They are feeding. See how they're running up and down, and all the birds are okay. So I want us to talk about the total amount that we have spent during the brooding before we talk about other things. So during brooding, if you can see, we had stopped in week 3, which was here. So if we come to week 4, you find that I only bought 1 bag of pellets, which costed me this amount of money. The transport was here, and this was the total amount of money I spent in week 4. I remember I told you that I was going to buy medicine for coccidiosis, but I ended up not buying it because I wanted them to fast. It was like I think we were left with like 5 days to finish brooding. So I said, you know what, let's first finish this brooding and then I treat them when we come in the main farm here. So that's what I did. I did not buy the medicine for coccidiosis, and I ended up only spending 141,000 Ugandan shillings. 141 Ugandan shillings. So so I came down here and I started adding from week 1, which was 2.7, 11,000 Ugandan shillings. Okay, I'm giving it in Ugandan shillings. So I think that is okay. Week 2 we spent 158,000 Ugandan shillings. Week 3 we spent 294,000 Ugandan shillings, and week 4 we spent 141,000 Ugandan shillings. So if you look down here, you find that our total cost for brooding was 3,304,000. This is the total cost of our brooding, including this cost includes buying the drinkers and the feeders and the rest of the things, the feeds, the vitamins, buying the chicks, but it does not include the cost of land and the cost of constructing the chicken house. You must know that this cost only considers purchasing of the feeders and drinkers, the birds, the feeding, the vitamins, the vaccines, but it does not include the cost of land and the cost of constructing the chicken house. So this is the total amount of money that I spent in the brooder, and it is in Ugandan shillings. Okay, because I've got so many of you asking me, "Sister, how much have we spent in the brooder?" Because actually I'd even promised that before we remove the birds from the brooder, I was going to give you the total cost of money we have spent in the brooder, so that it is easy for someone out there planning to start this project to know how they can budget for themselves. So I think for the weighing, I said we shall weigh the birds when they are soon reaching their point of lay. Right now they're just 5 weeks, but let's weigh the birds when now they are 14, 15 weeks. When now they are reaching their point of lay. So for today, let's go back to our topic of the day. I want us to look at some of the tips that we must consider, some of the things we must do in the brooding house to avoid mortality. So please, let's start from there. Today, I want us to look at some of the things you must do and must not do in your brooder to avoid mortality. Because we came out of our brooder successfully. Our birds are doing super well. Everyone is saying, "Oh, sister, the birds are looking nice. The birds are," and indeed, it is true. The birds are looking so nice, and they are really growing. They are so happy. I've not even experienced any mortality till today. So, when you want to do this poultry project, especially the layers, because I'm talking about layers because I'm doing layers. If you want to do the layers, one thing you must know is that their life in the brooding counts a lot. The way you brood your birds will tell you how much you're going to benefit from these birds, how they are going to lay, because that is where their life starts from. So, if you're planning to do layers, please make sure that your brooding should be very, very well. And that's why I said, before we go ahead and look at the birds here or talk about what is now going on in this farm, we must first give people final summary on what they must do in their brooder and things you must consider for proper brooding. Okay, so number one that I am talking out of my own experience, because most of you know that we have been brooding our chicken together, and we came out of that brooding perfectly well, without any problem, without any complication. So I'm going to talk out of the experience. But if you've not yet subscribed, please, what are you still waiting for? Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that you never miss out any upload. Share this video, comment in the comment section down below, and since I will be so grateful, don't forget to tell me which country you're watching me from, and I'll be smiling. So I'm going to talk out of my experience. The number one thing which I think is very important when you're planning to do this project, because it starts with, first of all, planning. Number one, the breed of the birds you're going to get matters a lot. When I talk about the breed, the first thing you must consider is the company you're going to get your birds from. There are so many companies out there that supply these birds, but according to the experience, because I've done now this project since 2019 till now, it is now quite some time. I call myself one of the people who have really done this project for some good time. Okay, so I've been getting birds basically from 2 companies, okay, of which I think I've mentioned them. I'm not going to mention now, but there is this one particular company that has really impressed me, and that is where I got again these birds from. And I must be honest, the company matters a lot. Please always go for companies that people have recommended you, and most people have used it, and most people have really seen the outcome is okay. I don't want to say that these other companies do not give good birds. I don't know, because I've not tried all of them, but at least there are some companies that most people recommend you to go for, that they have also used it for some time, and really you really for sure their birds, when you get them, they do not disturb you. When I mean they do not disturb you, birds can disturb in so many ways. Others die a lot, others anything small, others get so sick so often. And please always consider the company you're getting your birds from, okay? Make sure it is a company that is legit, it is a company that is registered, it is a company that is well known, it is a company that people have used it and they have recommended you to use it. Don't just wake up one day and just go to see like a poster that we supply birds and just go there and purchase birds from there. Please do your background research before you go and order your birds from that company, because it is through that you will know that that brooding will not also disturb you. Because when you get also birds which are not okay, trust me, also brooding is going to disturb you, okay? And then number 2 that I think you must consider when doing this, when going into brooding, first of all, when you bring the birds, make sure you weigh your birds. There is some you must weigh the birds and see their weight first. Birds that are underweight will end up not doing well in the brooder, and that still brings you back to the company where you've got your birds from, okay? And then while in the brooder, there are some things that you must do in the brooder to keep your brooding perfectly well. Most of you have been watching me in the brooding. We have been actually brooding these birds together with you. First of all, you must make sure that the brooder is warm enough for the birds. Not too hot that will suffocate the birds, but the brooder must be moderately warm. There's a particular room temperature that the brooder must have for it to do well for the baby chicks. So make sure that your brooder is warm enough for the birds, okay? And then another thing, make sure that there's always clean water and feeds. The feeds also is very important. Where you get your feeds from is very, very important, because they are, like me in the brooder, I use the pellets throughout. I told you that pellets are actually recommended for these baby chicks, okay? Me personally, I use only pellets throughout the 4 weeks. Well, it is quite expensive, but the benefit is there. You've all witnessed the benefit. It is really so good to use. Someone is at my gate. No. So in the brooder, I would recommend all of you to use pellets when birds are still in the brooder, because the birds, you've really seen how the birds came out perfectly well. Because feeding is also very important, and make sure also the water is clean. I told you always avoid chlorine water. We've also looked at some of these small mistakes that can happen. Remember how one of our baby chicks died, and actually that is the only chick that we lost when I sat on it, and it died. So always avoid some of those petty mistakes. Then avoid corners in your brooder, okay? Always avoid corners. Then even the brooder, most people think that when you're going to set up your brooder, make sure that most people think there should not be any fresh air inside so that the brooder can be warm. Make sure there is always a source of fresh air for the birds, because if the fresh air is not there, you saw that They can contract, even cough from there because they are suffocating. You find the birds even dying in the brooder. You get it? Then when you're putting the drinkers and the feeders, make sure you put it in a way that all the baby chicks can access the feeds, all the baby chicks can access the water, because there is a scenario whereby you can put few drinkers, and when time for drinking water, some birds are drinking, some birds are not drinking. When time for feeding, some birds are feeding, some birds are not feeding. So always make sure that the feeders are enough for the birds and the drinkers are enough for the birds. And avoid chlorine water. I think I'm repeating this. Avoid chlorine water. That is, I'm not a veterinary doctor, but I'm just talking out of experience and what I've also learned from so many research that I've done and so many seminars that I have attended. Okay, so please avoid chlorine water. And then when you just bring in the birds, make sure there's a brooding pepper in your brooder. Most farmers fear doing this because they see it is also another cost to buy the brooding peppers. But you saw Sise didn't use even brooding peppers. I used the available things. I had these bags, this Bucavera is what I put down, plus the other wooden thing. I just laid it down and I put it before putting the coffee husk or the wood shavings, because if you put the wood shavings or coffee husk from day one, you will lose. Like, according to my past experience, I remember losing over 50 birds, baby chicks, from that, because you find that the birds will swallow this wood shavings and this coffee husk seeds. Okay, this coffee husk also come with some coffee seeds in them, so the birds will end up swallowing them and they will not be able to digest it. Since they are still baby chicks, you find that you will lose so many birds. So always make sure that you set your brood in a way that there's a brooding pepper down or anything that will not, the birds will not still reach the wood shaving. Introduce the wood shavings and the coffee husk later. Okay, and even make sure as the birds grow, because normally some people use, not like me who are like, I have a brooder separate from the main farm, but some people use the main farm for brooding. So when you see the birds are growing, continue enlarging the brooder so that the birds don't get suffocated, because these birds, when they get suffocated, that is how you're going to lose. That's how you're going to lose birds. Okay, so what else should I tell you? And then if you see any kind of sickness or any sign of something that you're not understanding it, immediately run to the veterinary shops. And you explain to them what is going on. They will help you immediately. Don't see anything that you're not understanding it and you keep quiet on it. If it escalates, you will end up losing so many birds. Now, like last time, I had few birds had started sneezing. Immediately, I had to start treating the birds because they were already contracting a respiratory problem. So whenever you see any problem in your flock, in your baby chicks, when you're in the brooder, act immediately, okay? Because it is through brooding your birds that will help you make a lot of profits from this project, that will help you stick in this project, and that will also make you run away from this project. Okay, so whenever you're brooding the birds, when you see any problem, anything that you're not understanding it, please seek for advice or run to the veterinary shop. And then I told you in the beginning that always make sure you have the vaccination schedule and the feeding timetable, because these birds, they have how they're supposed to feed and when they're supposed to be vaccinated. So you must follow the vaccination schedule very well and the feeding timetable very well. For these birds, okay, I gave you people how they were supposed to feed from week 1 to week 4. I'm also now going to give you how they're supposed to be feeding from week 5, which we have completed already, from week 5 till they start laying. Okay, so I'm going to come up with that in the next video. We are going to look at how we are supposed to feed the birds, because these birds, they have a particular kilograms they are supposed to consume on a daily basis. So you must also consider that. Okay, so for today, I think you've picked something from this episode. Okay, don't forget to give a thumbs up to this video. Comment in the comment section where Sister has forgotten, because we have been brooding these birds together. You know what has been happening in the brooder, and we just want to teach some people out there who have not been with us. And please, if you're new, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. Click on that notification bell so that you never miss out any upload. Share this video, comment in the comment section down below. Tell Sister which country you're watching out from, and she'll be so happy. Please, let's keep the fire burning. Let's encourage many people to do agriculture because it is the backbone of Africa, okay? And let's inspire people together. See you next time. Bye-bye.